Good day. Good. It's St. Patty's Day today, by the way. Did you guys know that?
Yep. Yes.
I did.
We're not wearing green. That's a problem. Okay, you're not wearing green. I told you wear green.
I know.
So that's not going to happen. Well, I just want to start off by saying thanks for all of you who are watching this. This is our fourth presentation for RocketScreens, and want to spend about 30 minutes with you all today talking about our integrations, new integration that we haven't shown before, that pretty exciting that we've built. We've got a lot of background with this technology, and so demonstrating today how we do it, what's the end product, is what the purpose of today's meeting. I'll start off by introducing myself. My name is Scott Pressler, and I'm the commander here at RocketScreens. I've got another NASA shirt. I don't know if you can see this. It's actually rocket science is the topic. I didn't, as you all know, watch these, we kind of have some NASA garb. I didn't wear the Elton John Rocket Man shirt that I got last week at his concert, his farewell tour. Right, Kay?
Yep.
RocketScreens, nope, Rocket Man. But anyways, that's a little bit of a goof. So, but thanks for letting me do that. Let me introduce my team today. We've got Kay Batista. Introduce yourself, Kay.
Hi, everyone. In case you haven't seen or watched any of our podcasts yet, my name is Kay Bautista. And as I always say, I'm the captain's assistant. And I'm excited to be a part of another podcast again. So let's all watch and learn.
Awesome. And then I guess if I'm the commander, the navigator in chief, Nick Paget's with us today. Nick, please introduce yourself.
Hey everyone, Nick Paget, Director of Product Development. Thanks for tuning in today, and thanks for having me, Scott.
You bet, man. Every time, these are fun. So I guess let me get a little introduction to, again, what is RocketScreens, why we do these, and then I'll let you kind of pass the baton off to you, Nick. So probably about 2 years ago, we're all founding members and being part of a company called US Analytics. So for 20 years, we've gone out and met with some of the largest and fastest growing companies in North America, maybe around the world too. And we built out performance management machines, if you will. And so finance offices, sales offices, operational organizations, there's so much data out there. And with the advent of all the cloud systems that now exist, it's really a challenge for our customers to get these systems in a central spot that doesn't require either building out data warehouses with combining all the data, or ultimately, you got single login, but how can any employee on a team enter 5 or 6 systems, maybe on a daily basis or even a weekly basis, and do that in a time savings way? It's exhausting. So we built RocketScreens to simplify it, right? And so our motto is simple, powerful screens. And we believe that by gathering information from the most popular SaaS products, and quite frankly, even some of your own corporate content, and blending all that information and getting it to your teams, no matter if they're operations, sales, marketing. I mean, marketing today is so critical to organizations, and the daily spend and the daily amount of information coming at them, 5, 6, 7 systems, maybe 8, 10 reports. If you're not looking at that, you're probably wasting your company's time and money. You're definitely not hitting your results. Your teams aren't producing. And so this is our approach of getting this information very quickly in front of your teams, whether that's in offices, on TV screens, whether that's on your PCs or your tablets. We've got a way now to, again, aggregate all of it and get it out. And so today, we want to show off a couple things. Again, these series are really showing off our secure integrations. We've got about, Nick, 27, 28 today, and building. Where are we?
Yeah,
around that ballpark?
Yeah, we're just shy of under 30 for our secure integrations. And that's just the integrations. We know we have apps, which are the different plethora of systems or things that we can show on your screen. We're just reached 100 for that. The integrations are just our secure connections using OAuth or API keys. That's close, yeah, just shy of 30 now.
I think you're right. And again, I think what makes us a little bit different in the market, digital signage has been around forever. And the truth, though, that we're taking a twist and bringing these digital signage attributes, or even quite frankly, applications, we're bringing them in to our clients by going after the systems that they've already acquired. They've probably already built out the reports. And at the end of the day, they're still not seeing it or looking at the information. So these 28 secure connections are a unique way for us to present to you and your customers or your employees, quite frankly, the information you've already stored. So long way of saying, Nick, show it off, please, today. I'll hand the baton on to you and talk a little bit more about OAC and what it is and how we connect to it and what's the value. Thank you.
Sure, thank you. So OAC is Oracle Analytics Cloud. Oracle, of course, giant tech company that have a ton of different offerings for platforms, both on-premise and in the cloud, to help you really run your business. Huge enterprise customers typically. Oracle Analytics Cloud is their new or their current generation cloud offering. Their legacy offering was Oracle Business Intelligence, which we also integrate with, but today we're just talking about OAC. And OAC also has an on-premise version called OAS, Oracle Analytics Server. And Oracle Analytics Cloud is a very interesting platform for us to integrate with because, like we said, Oracle is a massive company, and the analytics space has so many different approaches. Where we talked about with Power BI and Tableau, they're very self-service. Oracle Analytics Cloud can be self-service with their data visualizer product, DV, but also it is the much more traditional enterprise reporting with like a data warehouse, star schemas, and everything like that. So it's a pretty, I wouldn't say unique approach as far as that, but it's one of the best platforms that can give you the best of both worlds, the self-service and the traditional data warehousing approach.
Well, and quite frankly, that's how we met, right? And ultimately, back in 2017, US Analytics partnered up and acquired Rip and Meet America out of Atlanta, Georgia, and we were able to kind of bring on your team. You guys were building and training some of the largest organizations in the nation. Some of government agencies. So there's a lot of companies that made a big investment in the Oracle, at that time, OBIE on-premise technologies, but now that's moving all to the cloud.
Right, exactly. And like you said, yeah, I used to work for Written Made America, and we had consulting, we had training, and we were getting early access to the new versions of OBIE, as well as other Oracle products, of course, like ODI. And so it's a product that I'm pretty intimately familiar with, and that we, of course, as US Analytics is intimately familiar with.
Well, and one of the things I recognize, because we weren't as into that business line as Rip Mead was, Rip Mead America, when I saw your client list, I was just blown away about the size and sophistication and the importance that these applications played in our customers today, right? That are using these products now. So for us to be able to do what we're about to show, I think is just impressive, and I think it's going to help a lot of organizations out there that have already made the investment, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the goal, really, is these companies that are using Oracle Analytics Cloud, OAC, or OAS. I mean, these products can be very expensive, and you want to leverage what you can out of them, to really utilize as best you can. And that's always been a problem with enterprise reporting. As far back as you can go is how to best leverage it. And we, of course, like you said at the top of the call, we think the best way to do that is with something like RocketScreens. And so, of course, Oracle Analytics and RocketScreens seems like the perfect union, right?
Right. And, it's interesting, when we went down this path a couple of years ago, the kind of our first initiative was we had our office, in the corporate office, right? And we had the Atlanta office, and we wanted to get information out on screens. So we went out and noticed that in the market, there is this technology space called digital signage. Historically, a lot of that's for retail, but we thought, why don't we get our reports that matter, our sales reports, maybe marketing reports, some utilization reports out on these screens. And when we start looking at it, we would have to pull data out of our current systems, rebuild it maybe with a Zapier, or there's even some platforms that just do this. But why would you rebuild what you've already built, right? You already built these reports. You have them. You've invested. You just can't get it out. That's the part, right? So that's what ultimately you're going to show off how we do that with Oracle's OAC product today.
Yep, absolutely. And with that, I'll jump right into it.
Please.
So the first thing I want to show off here is the project that we're going to be pulling in. Oracle Analytics Cloud, they call their, at least for the self-service part of the app, they call them projects, which is their synonymous with dashboards. Here's the project I'm going to be pulling in. This is sample data provided by Oracle for our OAC instance. And we won't go through a lot of the OAC setup. We'll go through some of it just for RocketScreens, but it's an enormously complex product, as is Oracle Cloud. So we'll just try to, keep this just constrained to the part that buffers up against RocketScreens. So all that to say, sorry, go ahead.
No, so this is Oracle's OACs. This would be the authoring side, right? For an administrator or a report builder, data warehousing engineer, they're going to come in and they're going to gather, connect to the various products, and then build out these dashboards. Correct,
right. And then they could be self-service too. You could have any of your viewers go in and build these, but by and large, you're going to want someone that comes in that knows how to organize the data as it's supposed to be rendered. You don't want people putting in dimensions against facts that don't make any sense, right? So they have to have some understanding of it, but yes, you're correct.
So last question, typically, and obviously you guys have built so many of these systems in the past, clients will build this out, management will build it out, and then they deploy it to users. Are users logging in, getting emails? How do users today access these dashboards typically?
So yeah, it would be CMS that they log into. So there's they would go to their Oracle Cloud. They're given a specific URL, and there's ways that they can tidy up those URLs to put them on special domains or something like that. But by and large, you just go into that URL and signing in. Could be single sign-on is enabled as well, and then you can actually get into the system where you'd be able to see the catalog is what it's called in OAC. The catalog being your folders with your different reports, dashboards, all organized under there.
I'm interrupting today. I guess I had too much coffee, or I'm on my Rocket Man theme's getting to me, but I apologize. So if you had 100 employees, I guess is my point, that would mean 100 people would have to log in on a daily, weekly, monthly basis to see the reports.
Correct. Yep. OAC does provide some functionality for embedding your reports into other systems. It is pretty complex, though, to get set up, and that's actually how we do it under the covers. We use Oracle's provided means of embedding the application into other systems, and we embed it into ours.
Awesome.
So we basically automated that whole complex process that you have to do.
Got it. And we're getting it to you fast and free, right? So awesome. We'll continue. Apologize the interruptions.
No, absolutely. So let's go to RocketScreens first, and I'll show you how the setup goes. We're coming in about the halfway point. There is a bit more of a upfront setup to OAC as compared to other ones like Tableau or Power BI, but we'll circle back to that. First, I just want to show how you can get to it and use it right away. So in our CMS, I'm on our integrations tab. I'm going to click Add Integration. And in our list of integrations, we're going to look for OAC and select it. Like Scott said, we have like 30 of them here. And you see OBIE is one that we also support. But again, today we're just going to do OAC. And OAS is one that we're looking at to do it in the future. But today, OAC, so we have a quick blurb to give some information and background about it. Click Integrate. And so here I already have an environment set up. This is the complex part that we'll circle back to. But since it's already set up, this is the one-time process. I'm just going to click Continue with this environment. And now what will happen is I'll go through an OAuth process with the Oracle Cloud. You see Oracle saying, this is the app RocketScreens. This is my user I'm signed in as, and Padgett at usanalytics.com. And RocketScreens is requesting access to the API. I trust RocketScreens, so I'll click Allow. And here we go. RocketScreens says OAC is connected. So when I close these windows and I go back to my integrations here, you can see I have the OAC integration right here, ready for us to use. So now with the integration in place, this can also be reused, or you can have other users set up their own for different workspaces. It's really up to the users how they want to organize it. But now with this set up, we can just go into a channel and select the project. I already have an OAC channel here that I have waiting for us, so I'll click that. And in our list of apps, I'll search for OAC. There we go. So on the first page, of course, we have the options for the name and the duration. Just going to leave those as the defaults for now. So I'll click Next. On this second page, we have the options for which integration we want to use, and then we can go look in the catalog for the project. So I'll select the integration that we just set up. And I'll go search the web catalog for the folder I want us to use. We have everything in examples, so it's very easy for us to find. So I'll just click examples and click continue. And now I have a list of projects. I just need to find the one that we want. The project title is All Charts Demo. So I'll select that. And then I'll go to our final page, which is the advanced section, which will typically just ask us if we want to show a QR code and a label for the last time it was refreshed. Like all of our connectors, they're not live data constantly pulling. We are taking snapshots. But more often than not, with a huge enterprise platform like OAC, it's going to be like nightly ETLs. So really, the data from 10 and 10-minute intervals won't change hardly at all, if it does at all. So with that, I'll click Create, and we'll give it a second to process in the background. Again, what it's doing is OAC has the facility. It's a JavaScript library and an API library to generate a kind of temporary token to embed these dashboards or projects into a web page. And we're doing the exact same thing. We're just doing all that, automating it for you. And then we're going to show that here in a minute. So while that's processing, we can loop back around to the more advanced kind of configuration that it would take to set this up. So one thing that you'll need is a OAuth integration set up inside your Identity Cloud service, Oracle Cloud. It's pretty easy to set up. Really, you just need to give it a redirect URL, which is something that is in the process of setting it up, we would provide you. And we have all these steps documented on our website too. So, but anyways, you enter in the redirect URL, you tell this integration to use a refresh token and an authorization code. And finally, you would have to select a scope. And what a scope is it's saying this OAuth integration has permission to access this resource. So in this case, I have a analytics instance, an OAC instance, right? And we want to tell it this OAuth integration has permission to access this resource. That way, when you do log in, you do the process that we just did, where it's asking for permission for the OAC instance. And then the last thing that you got to do is in your safe domains configuration, actually in your OAC instance, is enable embedding and add the RocketScreens domain. That basically says, I trust reports to be embedded in this domain. That way we can generate it and embed it and take a screenshot of it to show you. But after that, it's that one-time setup, which we had already done. I didn't show any of that. That's just, then you're just ready to go and you can pick up where we started. So I'll go ahead and click preview now. It should be done. And I'll make it a little bit bigger for us. But here we go. We have the OAC project that we have. Again, we also have a QR code that links directly back to this. So if you have an audience and that's by a TV or whatever, they can scan it with their phone and open up this dashboard on their mobile device. And we have the snapshot of when it was last taken, which was 2 minutes ago at this point.
So this is awesome. And what you're demonstrating, not only, there's a lot of products out there that have a mobile equivalent or experience, right? So I know Domo does, where you can just take your mobile phone and you can ultimately show them. But what we can do with this, which is different, not only can we bring those that you've already created, but you can now mash it up with other information from other systems in this same. So you can make a real departmental presentation if not everything is an OAC. Correct?
Exactly. And like you said, the term data mashup is really, of course, historically, it's when you're taking data from different systems and putting them into the same system. You want to see the data in this system next to this one being rendered by the same thing. In our case, we're just saying, no, take the dashboard from OAC, take this dashboard from Salesforce, take this dashboard from Datadog, and put them all right next to each other, just the dashboards. And now you have essentially a data mashup.
When I look at it, like if the department had 5 or 6 different reports or dashboards from 2 or 3 systems, what better way? And simplified way. You don't have to log in. You don't have to waste. I don't remember my password. Maybe I have single sign-on. But then ultimately, I don't even remember the name of the report. What did the management want me to see? Management can organize this, consolidate it, and then push it out in streams like RocketStream does, whether, again, it's on your PC with some of our players for the PC, on TVs in the office, really anywhere that the teams are residing, correct?
Absolutely.
Well, so great. Well, so you've shown off basically going in, creating a secure integration to Oracle's OAC product, then going in and building out a playlist channel where you bring in, and so it demonstrates. And then lastly, Nick, what do you do now? So we've built out the integration. We've built out the, I guess in this case, a 1-slide playlist. But can you talk to me a little bit more about where then you just put it on the distribution list, Microsoft Teams, Streams? What all can we do with this?
Sure. So there's a few options, and like you said, we have a few different player types. If you have a physical player, which we consider like an Amazon Fire Stick or a Android Chromecast, Google Chromecast, or any other Android box. I know the Mi boxes, the Xiaomi boxes are popular. You can put it on one of those using our Android app, or the Android app is available on the Google Play Store and the Amazon Store. You can also, if you have a desktop that's hooked up to a computer screen, or that you're casting to a TV somewhere, you can also run it on your desktop and show this on your desktop. Also, there's a web player where we can have a URL, and you can embed that URL pretty much anywhere you like. You can, I know we internally embed a lot of these URLs into Teams. And Teams, you can add like custom tabs, right? And we just add an extra tab onto there, put in the player URL, and now we have RocketScreens in our Teams that we can go to anytime to see all of our reports. Or you can embed it in an intranet. You can put it. Our goal is to let you virtually put this anywhere you want, and that's where our players are really really allows you just the flexibility of putting this wherever you need it to be.
Yeah, we make it easy, again, simple, powerful, and honestly, we put it on any screen, right? So that's where that tagline came from. So, well, thank you for showing this off today. It obviously looks impressive, and I think you really ultimately set all this up in about 10, 15 minutes, right? And so it's a pretty simple way to go about it. We obviously at RocketScreens have teams that can support your first integration and even help desk type services. But if you think this is something you're wanting to look at, we do have a trial, right? Nick, you want to tell a little bit about our trial membership, how they could test this idea out in their own organization?
Yeah, absolutely. If you just go to RocketScreens.com, we have a 14-day trial, free. You don't need to enter a credit card or anything. And it's for the professional edition as well. So a lot of these more complex apps are included as part of the professional edition. So the trial gives you full access to do everything you saw here today. So for a 14-day trial, like Scott said, it takes 10 minutes maybe to set this up, just a one-time kind of setup to get it going. And you can have this rolling and see and start leveraging it for your organization really quickly. So that's definitely what I would suggest doing if you're interested. And because again, no commitments, no credit card, nothing like that. Just 14 days, give it a shot.
Awesome. Well, thanks for telling us about that. And as a reminder, again, what we're seeing, we're talking to businesses every day, small and large. Information has been kept at the highest levels with management, but the intent is they want that information out to their staff, right, to their different teams, to empower them to do their job, to do it better, to understand what's working, what's not, and it really created a two-way communication, even though we're pushing this one way from management. And it's amazing how important this is to running a solid operation. So thanks for building it. Thanks for showing it, Nick, and everyone have a great day today. Thanks, Kay.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you,
too.
guys. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.